teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the Midway. Knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85.
Take a look, Chicago, you can smell it in the air. There's a hungry team called the Soldier Field going nuts, jumping out their chair. Teams rather be anywhere but here. We don't care if it's below zero. Better tougher for the snow, we still gon' break bones. If you in the point fit, we choosing to kick. Cause we got a defense that love to hit. Polarize the link with our smash mouth beats. Slicing up teams like Mike Singletary. Forever repping the seat, making Papa Bear proud. Giving Chicago something to shout about.
We the Bears, monsters of the
And what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Panda and Grizzly Show. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Tank Kramer, and we got Panda down there. What's up, everybody?
What's up? How you doing, guys?
Can't complain. I mean, it's been, but we have one game left, guys. It's only one game left for the football season,
and it's the game that no one cares about unless you.
You live
in California
the Pro Bowl no one cares about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I still like the Kansas City Chiefs, and I still want to see San Francisco. I thought they were the two best teams. I didn't want to see the other two teams that aren't the best teams. Except I wouldn't mind Lamar, but I think Patrick Mahomes needs to respect. People have to understand how good he was and how good he is. And people keep on saying, we had a whole show talking about people that Patrick Mahomes is not, the best quarterback in the NFL, or he's lost a step. And no, he hasn't, guys. He hasn't lost anything. He's still the best quarterback. He's the best 1, 2, and 3 quarterback, and then 4 is blank, and then 5 is Josh Allen. That's where it is. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is that good, and I think that he's going to possibly win another Super Bowl with a terrible team, just because he's just that good.
Yeah, I mean, this team. Who are the catchers? Kelsey,
and Rashee Rice has been doing really well. I'm impressed with Rashee Rice.
Right. So which is good for him because Rice is really fast. He is super fast.
Well, MVS, I mean, Patrick Mahomes did a really good job of building MVS's confidence back up. So he's dropped those passes, and Patrick Mahomes put it on himself. Said, "Hey, I'm the guy. I should have thrown a better ball. I should figure out maybe throw a little easier for him to catch it." He always puts the onus on himself. So now he gave his team confidence.
Right.
Being a good leader. Patrick Mahomes, there's a lot of guys have great arm talent. A lot of them. But being a great leader is huge as being a quarterback.
Wow.
And it's probably the number one thing he does, that his team believes in him. Yes, he could throw the ball, but there's a lot of people that can throw the ball.
Shit, I could throw a ball. But still, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, you're right with the leadership because, like I said, anybody can throw a ball. But if you don't have the leadership, you don't have the confidence, and if your players, the other 10 guys in that huddle doesn't respect you, you're in there for nothing. You're just taking up the spot.
I think they also have to believe that they're part of the team. Like you will do anything for them, and that make them do anything for you.
Yeah,
and that's huge. So, and I think that's the one thing I bring it back to the Bears is that's what Justin has. When you looking at everyone's eyes, everyone's like, "I believe in you." Do I know if Caleb Williams has that? I know he didn't have it his senior year.
I was gonna say, yeah,
but he might change being a professional. I don't know.
Yeah,
in my mind, I still say I don't see the timeline matching up. For the players that we have, DJ Moore, we have Montez Sweat. I don't see that matching up. But Ryan Poles, you got to kind of just.
Yeah, he's not going to be a CJ Stroud and come in here and take the team to the playoffs. CJ is
rare,
is super, super rare, and then that's just a perfect timing. It's perfect coaching and everything just fell into place. With having 2 great receivers, young receivers, that's what people I think in Chicago expect. Like, oh, we get this guy and he's CJ Stroud. Like, CJ Stroud wasn't even CJ Stroud going into the draft. You know what I mean? Like, he was number 2. He wasn't the guy. Everyone was looking at Bryce Young and stuff. So
yeah, I keep on saying Jaden Daniels is the guy this year.
Well,
keep on saying it. 3 years we'll come back and revisit this. I'm like, I told you, this is the guy.
Yeah, just like Watson and Trubisky, Mahomes was number 3 on the list. Everybody had Mahomes on 3, but no one ever, Trubisky was on top of Mahomes. It was Watson, Trubisky, then Mahomes. All the other teams, but now look at So that's the thing I don't understand.
Playing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing I don't understand. Everybody's like, drop fields. This is getting Caleb. I'm like, no. I understand that if like in Houston, he was a rookie head coach, right?
DeMeco Ryans.
So they got Ryan, and they end up getting Stroud. If Ryan had anything to do with that, so you have a head coach chose the quarterback, which he knows he can manage. In this case, the past with Trubisky and Fields, Fox got Trubisky. What's the guy, the head coach after Fox? He ended up getting in Trubisky. Didn't really use him because he used Nick Foles, I believe, or Andy Dalton. And then after that, we have Matt Eerflus. It's like we don't have that matchmaker. We don't have that coach that says, I want this quarterback. Houston was fortunate enough to have a quarterback and a head coach in the same year, was able to have a quarterback, a head coach say, hey, this is what I want. I want this guy because I know I can work with him. So
you don't remember the other coach's name, huh? The offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs that's in the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, the BU guy. Yeah, Nagy.
Nagy.
Yeah.
Matt Nagy. Yeah, Matt Nagy was fine. I mean, I don't worry about any of that stuff as much as I worry about timing and what's your window open. And I heard something today on the radio that said, you get Caleb, your window is 10 years. And 1, you don't know that. 2, the 2 guys that you have are in their prime now. So like, if you build with everyone else, and I'm not a guy who thinks that you just give to Justin Fields and say he's a quarterback. I think you still draft the guy in second or third round. You trade down, get a bounty of picks, and you still draft JJ McCarthy. You still draft the quarterback of Florida State. You take a guy. You should always take a quarterback, and you see what you could develop with that guy. And then if you find out next year, okay, we gave you everything, and Justin Fields is not the guy, then you go ahead. You have 2 first round picks next year and 2 first round picks in 2026. Every year there's always a can't miss guy, and you know what happens? 60% of the time he misses.
Yeah,
that's the truth. Every year, Bryce Young is a can't miss prospect. He's the best prospect we've seen all year. We've ever seen. Generational talent. Like hearing that crap. Like every year, people forget. Every year it's the same answer. It's the same thing. People forget, and then the next year they say the same thing over and over again, and they're surprised. Say, he's generational talent, and then he's out of the NFL. Like whatever it is, you don't know what a generational talent is. Everyone's gonna always want the new fancy thing, but you don't know if that guy's good. It's not that you should stop trying. The difference is, I feel like you should build when you have a guy that you feel like could still be very good. If you feel like Justin Fields could still be a top 10 quarterback, you build with him. And you take this stuff and you get as many draft picks as possible. But I'm not sure that's what the Bears are going to do. I'm not sure at all. I have no clue.
I have a feeling so we might have a repeat. Now, hear me out. I'm hearing a lot of stuff from Crosby with the Raiders. So that's possible.
Max Crosby? No.
Yeah.
But Pierce already signed as the head coach now. Max Crosby said that the only way if Pierce doesn't get Antonio Pierce isn't hired as head coach, then he's going to request a trade. But Antonio Pierce is their head coach. He already signed the deal, so Max Crosby is going to be staying that team. A great 26-year-old defensive end is great, but he's not going to try and leave.
Now, what do you think about the main trade for Metcalf or Lockett?
Why?
Well, therefore you get picks. I mean, they're going to want a QB because Geno Smith's going to be there not for long, so they're going to want picks. So we're going to also need another receiver to match up and help out DJ.
Because you already have a young, you have DJ Moore, you can still get a first round because we already had 2 draft picks right now in the first round. You can still draft one of these guys. There's 3 or 4 really, really good receivers. So I don't think you have to trade for another receiver, but what you might need to trade for is one, a center or a defensive lineman. And those are the 2 things that we still need. So if you get what if, I don't know, a great defensive end or a defensive tackle, a 3 technique, which is still the most important position on the defense. What if the Jets want to move up? I'm not saying they do, but like a team that has a great defensive tackle, that would be interesting to me. If the Patriots want to give me someone who's at a great 3 technique, I could deal with that, or a pass rusher. You can do either one of those things.
Now, do you think the Bears are going to go after Chase Young?
No, not anymore.
Right, because I've been hearing a lot of.
I mean, he's benched. He's benched in the Super Bowl, which is crazy. Like they're already saying they're benching him.
Only because he did nothing except miss tackles.
Yeah.
Well,
they're saying he missed plays too. Like he just didn't go out in certain times he was supposed to go out, and then like made the defensive coordinator like hustled, like, oh, you go out there, So yeah, I mean, why do you want something like that? Maybe he's doing it on purpose, but you're doing something like that, you're hurting yourself ultimately because your value is going down. It's you are your own commodity. So
I don't know.
Exactly what we said.
Right.
Talent wise is one thing, right? He's 6'5", he runs a 4.4 40. He has unbelievable talent, right? But it depends on what type of player you are.
Yeah.
What's up, primetime edits? Opinions on the Super Bowl? Yeah, that's why I think. Who do you think wins between us 3? Who do you think wins the Super Bowl matchup?
Probably I see Kansas City winning.
I kind of see it. Do I want them to win? No, but I believe the ref's going to favor on their side.
That too. And also the freaking Baltimore Ravens, showed the entire league the weakness of 49ers when they just annihilated them. It was at week 17, I think. Week 16 when they played?
15.
15, something like that. Yeah. When they did that crazy. So yeah, I think you're fine. You take away the options for Purdy, and then you have to make Purdy be a quarterback. I don't know if Purdy is there's no way Purdy is not on the same level, but I don't know if he deserves to be in the same like Super Bowl kind of talk as like somebody like Mahomes.
Yeah.
So
the big question is which. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just like that sack or that the not a sack that Mahomes got out of. I watched that like a bazillion times, and I was like, it just baffles my mind how he got out of that. Like, dude wrapped him up both legs, and like he spun out of it, and like God, it was just that's insane. That's and like I only saw it a few times on like ESPN and stuff. It was I saw more on TikTok and Instagram. But that was just like that blew my mind. That guy's on another level.
I think that's what it is, though.
We got to see which Purdy comes out because there was 2 different Purdys. One in the previous game against the Lions, and one before. Because the one Purdy before his accuracy was off. It was shit. It was really, really bad. But this last game was a little bit better. He was dead
In
on.
the second half. In the second
Second,
half.
second half.
Yeah,
First half, he was bad.
yeah.
But
So
here's my thing. For me, I feel like it's not Mahomes versus Purdy.
No.
It's Kansas City Chiefs against San Francisco 49ers. And I think San Francisco's defense is better, even though the Chiefs' defense is not bad. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
they're underrated.
But what they have problems with is wrapping up and making tackles. And what do San Francisco do well? They get yacked, running after the catch, really well. Christian McCaffrey, if Christian McCaffrey's healthy, if Debo is playing like he just played, if Ayuk is playing, and Kittle and all, I mean, they have so many weapons. I feel like San Francisco should still win this game. They should still win this game because at the end of the day, talent-wise, I feel like San Francisco still has them talent-wise.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent on the outside.
But I
Tons
mean,
of talent.
but are you going to bet? If I'm betting, I'm not betting against Mahomes. I'm
Yeah,
just
exactly.
But what do I think they will? I think Chiefs will lose. I think Patrick will be 2-2 in Super Bowl games.
What do you think the final score will be?
27-24. Almost all Super Bowls are right around that.
Most of them.
Yeah.
There's been a few that were super boring. But
I mean, with these two guys, I mean, all you gotta do is pass to the right person. 27-24. So that's fine. But I think it's close, and I think it'll be entertaining. I think people are not think it's gonna be entertaining, but I think it will be very entertaining.
yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game. Like, they're good teams. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't think people wanted to see these teams again in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I think
49ers haven't been there in a long time.
2020. This is the rematch of 2020, I believe. I think 2020. It was Niners and Chiefs again. So it's like, granted, things are different now. I mean,
totally
a lot
teams.
different.
Totally different.
If anything, Niners are a lot better, and Kansas City is probably a little not as good. But it's gonna be a good game. But I think people were rooting for Lamar way more than they were rooting for Mahomes. People were rooting for Lions way more than they were rooting for the Niners.
That's a joke. Fucking Lions are a joke.
Yeah.
Everyone's known it. And
one of my
said, the Lions are going to win. Look, the only way the Lions are going to win.
They had it. They had it. Like, it's insane. Like, I left my in-laws in the third quarter had started. I'm like, all right, let's go home. I'm like, that score's like 24 to 7. Like, yeah, we'll go home. And by the time I came home, put the baby to bed and everything, I'm like, what the hell is going on? It was insane. Like,
I don't know. You guys have you been Chicago fans for a long time? Come on. Lions are going to lion, guys. Lions are going to lion. This is what they do.
Yeah. But if they won, one of my drivers at work, he's from Detroit, so he goes there a lot. He was there during the game, at a bar and stuff. And I told him, like, man, if they win, just win the conference. Like, they're gonna act like they won the Super Bowl. Like, it's gonna be just madness in Detroit. But he's like, everyone, they're losing their minds. Halftime, everyone's drunk. And at the end of the game, he goes, you can hear a pin drop. I was like, damn.
That's just how it was. And everyone was at the stadium. Everyone was watching at the stadium. So that's Ford Field, whatever that is. I thought that was interesting.
It's gonna be a fun, but yeah.
I wouldn't want to see Detroit. I don't think Detroit would have brought many eyes. Did you know that the AFC Championship game, is the most watched AFC Championship game of all time?
Really?
Chiefs Ravens was the number 1 rated game all time. So
I can see that. You got to also remember
all the other stuff.
You also got to remember Taylor Swift.
Well, it's not just Taylor Swift.
She's going to bring in so many more eyes.
Yeah.
So many more eyeballs.
Yeah. But people know Patrick Mahomes too.
Yeah. I mean, there's the football fans. Don't get me wrong. The football fans are going to enjoy that game. You know what I mean? But it's that high because of Taylor Swift. There's no doubt you can't say people are here to see the football game. Yeah, I was majority of them, but to break the record to be the most watched ever, that's
There's
because
that-
of Swift.
I believe there's that 10, 15%, maybe even 20%.
They
There's a
got
bunch
it over
of
that hump.
8, 9-year-olds, 9 to 13, 9 to 15s. They want to see Taylor Swift on TV. They want to
think they
see Taylor
definitely
Swift
helped.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know,
That definitely helped, but you also do know the game the Chiefs played before that was not that high of a rated game. So I think it also has to do with the matchup of Mahomes versus Jackson. So I think mean, give the football part the majority of what's going on, guys. Like
oh no, yeah. Don't get me wrong.
you see that skit where they were talking about like Action Jackson, and everyone's like, "You're the last one. You're the last hope. You're the last one we got, right?"
Yeah.
And then they come back like, you know, and Mahomes won again. Like, it doesn't matter. The dude is that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from Holmes. I really am not. You know, he earned my respect when, what was it, 2 Super Bowls ago, where he dove and threw a pass for a touchdown. It could have been a touchdown, but the guy dropped it.
The one he hit him in his face mask
Yeah.
when he was horizontal and threw a perfect pass. Yeah,
He dove
And
like
still-
he was a shortstop going for a ball, and he threw the ball.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think that was against the Tampa Bay, wasn't it? Against Brady. Brady's
Super
last.
Bowl.
Yeah.
This is a Super Bowl when he had no blocking, and he still
no
did what he
blocking,
was
no
doing.
one catching. The dude ran 500 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, that was. I mean, that alone proves how great Mahomes is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, Mahomes. You want to talk about generational? Mahomes is generational. You know,
That's going to bring up something I want to get to. I want to ask you guys this question. That really gets to it, but let me just go through this real quick. Hey guys, do you think these hirings are trending to which route the Bears are going to go? So, what do you think these coaches are? So, I'm gonna put a pin in what I was going to say. We'll get to these coaches real quick. So, you guys know who the coaches are?
What was it, Washington?
All right, so
Right.
we have offense coordinator. That's Shane Waldron, right?
Waldron. Yeah.
A quarterback's coach, new quarterback coach is Kerry Joseph. Do you know who Kerry Joseph is? I'm gonna give you a little rundown.
Well, he came from Seattle, right? With Waldron.
But do you know Kerry Joseph? Do you know Kerry Joseph played safety in the NFL?
Okay.
Then left the NFL and played quarterback in the CFL.
That's funny.
Because he always wanted to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
And he's worked his way all the way up to being a quarterback's coach. So this dude, he played in the NFL. He played for Saskatchewan as a quarterback. He actually won a Gray's Cup. I think it was like 2007. So the dude was pretty good. He threw for over 4,000 yards and 24 touchdowns.
Was it Tressman 2.0?
After playing safety in the NFL. That's one of the guys, okay? Just want to give you guys a quick rundown on all these guys. Wide receiver coach, Chris Beatty. You know what Chris Beatty is known for?
Man, that name sounds so familiar. You say it, I'm gonna.
26 years of experience, mostly at collegiate level, and he was one of our receivers coach in college.
No way.
Okay.
Can you tell me which one?
Oh,
He coached them at Maryland. DJ Moore. He was DJ Moore's wide receiver coach at Maryland.
Okay.
So they went out to get the receivers coach, which is everyone knows Chris Beatty is a very good coach. Yeah. He was DJ Moore's wide receiver coach at Maryland. So he already has a relationship with DJ Moore.
Yeah, that's good.
So, and then if you're getting a wide receiver coach like that, why wouldn't you want to get a wide receiver? I'm just saying, we're putting these things together because the question is, hey guys, do you think these hirings are trending into what route the Bears are going? I'm reading the tea leaves. I know what everyone else is saying. Yeah. Caleb. I'm just reading the tea leaves.
Yeah, the one that Grant Hill posted up right now. That's the one that's the most interesting to me. The pass game coordinator.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thomas Brown, pass game coordinator.
Yeah. I think that's good. I like that one. I was reading about him a lot. In one of the articles that somebody posted up in the group, and it was just like, I like him.
He has a lot to say. I mean, And
Mhm.
I thought that was interesting. So let's actually get to Thomas Brown. Do you know where Thomas Brown was from?
Originally, I know he was the OC with Carolina. He was with the Chargers. No, the Chargers, the Rams,
Panthers.
But he was with the he was the OC with the Panthers. He worked. He did something with the Chargers. I think it was the Chargers before Carolina. I forgot what he did over there. But
So Brown is one of the guys that they interviewed for as a pass coordinator, offensive coordinator, the OC. So the Bears actually interviewed him for the OC job. So, but he's worked with Shane Waldron before, so that's why they hired, bringing them both in. Both worked with the Rams.
the Rams.
Yeah.
It was one of the LA teams.
He's been a running backs coach, which is funny because the Bears still have a unfilled position at running backs coach. He worked with Bryce Young. So, I mean, that might be a Caleb Williams type of hire, but I think that's what you're doing. You're building a staff that could work for both quarterbacks, and I think the Bears go with the best deal, no matter what. And you don't show your hand, and you go with the best deal.
Yeah. I don't think this is going to be an ongoing conversation, either until a team offers the Bears something sometime soon. But my guess is the week of the draft. That's when we might hear something when we start getting closer to the draft. I think people are going to wait out and see if he's bluffing, if he's holding, or like what, and it's really like it's on polls. It's really on polls, and I don't know. Well, obviously we don't know what he's doing. He's pretty quiet with a lot of stuff he does until it happens. So,
I actually think that we're going to hear something by March. I actually think that March, the same time we had from last year, I think that's where we're going to hear something. And if we don't hear anything by March, then they're going to stick with Caleb. This is not going to be a draft day.
Yeah.
By March or in March?
By March. Well, in March.
It's funny
before March 7th, 8th, 9th, because that's when the new league year begins. You're going to hear something about this draft pick.
Right. Because I just looked it up. March 10th was what he traded the first round pick last year.
But the difference is also when the league year ends or begins this year. So
it doesn't matter. March 10th.
It doesn't matter March 10th. The 10th, it just doesn't matter anything.
I'm just saying, it's within the first 15 days of March. That's when pretty much we're going to hear something.
You have to pay Justin Fields and all that stuff. The league year is going to matter because you got to make your fifth year decision. When the league year starts, that's probably when we're going to start hearing trade, if we're going to trade or not.
Right. So that's going to be interesting. We have a whole month and almost a month and a half. Excuse me.
Pretty much, almost, yeah.
I think about 6 weeks.
There was
it would have to be by then or around then. But if it's not then, do you think if it's not at the start of the new league season, is it right before the draft? No, it has to be because you said because otherwise then you got to start paying.
The league year would be March 13th. So legal tampering period would be March 11th, and March 13th the league year officially begins. The other reason why you're going to hear by then is because if we're going to trade Justin Fields, you don't want another team talking to someone, talking to a free agent or talking to Denver or anything like that. So you want to strike before we have all that stuff coming out. So if Atlanta wants Justin Fields and they want to give you a second round pick, it has to happen before the league year starts. So that's why I say you're going to get some information by then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. But those coaches, I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't say about our defensive coordinator. So we hired ex-Bear, Eric Washington, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Eric Washington used to play for the Bears. He was which one? He was a defensive line coach, I believe, for the Bills.
For the Bills,
balled out, definitely. They said he has 15 years experience, really good. great at position coaching. People, his team loves him. The players love him. The only thing is they're not sure he can call a defense. That's really what the word is. But that doesn't matter because Eberflus wants to call the defense.
Yeah,
So,
that's what works out.
I see. Let him.
works out perfectly. Yeah, no, definitely, but it works out perfectly. So Eric Washington learns how to become a defensive coordinator. He does all the hard work, and Eberflus calls it game day, which has been going well. And if anything goes wrong, or he needs to be more of a CEO coach, he can pass it off to the guy, but the guy will learn from you first. So I think that works. So I mean, as far as I've heard everyone say that's a pretty good decision that they've done. All right, we got a couple of other things in here, so I'm going to go through them. Purdy had 262 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 3 drop interceptions. Very bad throw and got caught by Ayuk. Yeah, it was the Jawan one was a terrible decision. Over the middle, high, and he just happened to jump up and grab that ball. I don't know how he got it out of the sky. I don't know how he did that. Purdy did not have a good game. Matter of fact, I was thinking during the first half, man, it might be time to get away, move away from Purdy. Maybe San Francisco wants Justin Fields. Don't get me wrong. I want him, but hey, whatever's better for the Bears.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a bunch of teams will take Fields like in a heartbeat. So
because pizza teams know a good quarterback and talent around him makes him a great quarterback. Grant Hill says, "I think we hear something in March." I've been hearing that. I'll tell you, league year starts March 13th. That's what it is. It's just what know. Before you go into free agency, you need to hear something about your draft picks. Anthony says, "You don't you need to start trading before free agency to see what you got?" You guys are hitting the nail right on the head. That's exactly what's going on.
There you go.
Derpy, what's up, Derpy?
Hey.
So Marvin Harrison goes number 1 is what you're saying. No.
The Bears will not. The Bears will not. Right. The Bears will not give up. They will not trade. They will not select Marvin Harrison as number 1. I strongly believe they're going to either trade it or select Caleb. I don't think they're going to select Caleb. I really don't think so. I believe they're going to trade it, and whoever gets the number 1, they could draft the punter if all they care, because they don't care anymore because they got what they want from it. So I don't think Marvin Harris is going 1.
No, he's
not with these quarterbacks here. I don't think so. So in the pro days, exactly. We got pro days coming up. There's a lot of decision times. And as I kind of had my little soliloquy at the beginning, I really feel like you have to figure out if Caleb Williams is a good leader. Because if he's not a good leader of men, you will never win with him.
Isn't there like a Senior Bowl coming up or something?
He's not playing. He's not senior either. He's not senior. Senior Bowl is coming though. So Bo Nix will be in the Senior Bowl. Michael Penix Jr. will be in the Senior Bowl.
Right.
So I mean, there's some good quarterbacks that will be available to really see, and these coaches will be able to figure them out. You know, and Poles has to do his due diligence with all these quarterbacks, because the more information you get, what if Minnesota gets Michael Penix Jr. or JJ McCarthy or or Bo Nix? You need to know this guy inside and out. You're doing your best to figure him out. So it's not just for now; it's for later that you're doing all this information, getting all this information.
Right. I mean, I believe what they said. They said they had like 4. No, they have 6 scouts, and the Senior Bowl or Shrine Bowl. The Bears.
They have a couple coaches that are going to.
Yeah, I hear they have 6 coaches out there, really closely evaluating all these players.
I mean, you have to. That's
it's crazy.
This actually brings me a good question. So I think if Marvin Harrison Jr. impresses, you might hear something in March. If Marvin Harrison shows you that he is a all-world wide receiver, does that make you more want to trade the pick, to trade down to get him, or does it all depends on Caleb Williams, because you already know what Marvin Harrison is?
Right. It really depends on who's going to take him. Like who you're trading the pick for. Is it going to be Kansas City?
I'm talking about for the Bears.
Yeah,
I'm talking about for the Bears. This is it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're talking about Marvin Harrison,
Yeah,
I
if the
think
Bears don't get him, he will go to
Arizona.
Arizona.
He will not
You know,
drop below Arizona.
Yeah. He was where are they 4? Like he's not going past them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So, and no one else has anything that they can offer to get in that top 3, get in front of Arizona, and to get in front of the Bears for that case too, if need be. But yeah, Marvin Harrison, is he going to be a Bear or he's going to be a Cardinal? Like Marvin Harrison knows that's it. It's 50-50. You know, where Caleb, I think Caleb is either a Bear, a Pat, or a Commander.
He could be a Commander. He could be a lot of different things. You never know what.
Somebody else might just.
Someone will want. If someone wants him, you go get him.
Does Houston have enough draft capital
For what?
For what?
To move up to number 1 again? Not
Why
again,
would they
but
do that?
for Harrison.
He would not be picked up number 1. It's going to be.
No, I'm just thinking, like, shooting the shit. That's all. I'm just wondering if they have enough draft capital to do that.
No, they're picked like 18, so no.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even. They're not even. I don't think in the actual looking for it. I don't think
but they have Collins and Tank. I think they're pretty happy with what they have in the receiver. I mean, granted, any team would love to get Harrison, but you're not gonna, trade the rest of your, 6 more years to get Harrison. That's what they would have to do. Is like, here's the next 5 number 1 picks or something stupid. Because
now
no one else will go draft down. If you're number 1, you're not going down to 18.
Here's my question: Would you trade if you're Houston and you go up to 4? A lot of picks, a lot of trades, right?
You can't go up to 4. That's your pick. Can't.
If you're Houston.
Yeah. So Arizona owns Houston's pick. So like they're not going to trade it back to you.
I see. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. So last year, that's how they got 2 first-round picks last year. They're not going to be able to move up. They don't have the capital because that's how they got the 2 first-round picks last year. So Houston's not going to be a team that's going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, never mind. Get the idea and just toss it. Just throw it away.
No, but with Houston, what you do is you already have the guy. You draft whoever's there.
Mm-hmm.
Best available because you already have a pretty good line. You have all that available to you.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, maybe another running back, maybe. I mean, but you get whatever's available, best available.
No, you don't.
Their defense is solid. No,
I don't know. What do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. What do they need? I mean, O-line, I guess. Maybe if they can find a good left tackle at that number.
No, they already have a Tunsil.
Yeah, they have a solid O-line. That's why, they're so good, and everyone's saying, "Oh, CJ, this is what the field should have been." But CJ got into a great position right away.
He didn't have to run away every time.
Yeah,
no one remembers that Fields got sacked 8 times by the Cleveland Browns this rookie year
in one game. In one game, it's that's not even the whole season. In one game,
was just running backwards. That's all it was. When is Ohio State's pro day? I've been looking at everything. I think it's March 13th or something like that. I'm not exactly sure when it is. I'm not sure when Ohio State's pro day, but it has to be sometime between late February and early March. That's when pro days usually start happening because of the combine.
Yeah. So. Which hopefully, if you're watching on this channel, I know on Wednesdays you guys talk about all these incoming rookies. So I've been working on getting a bunch of videos all set out. So right when everyone's talking about rookies, incoming guys, we're going to be dropping a bunch of videos of all these top prospects coming into the draft. So which is what you guys do on Wednesday lives. So yeah, every position.
March 22nd.
Is it
Ohio State
Pro Day?
Yeah.
I mean, because the draft is April 27th. 27, 28th, right? Like that
weekend.
Yeah. Because I'm going to see 2E2. So I know.
Yeah. That's gonna be a long Friday for us, man.
Oh yeah, Derpy. I want Fields, but it looks like Atlanta's getting him. Atlanta still has to make a lot of decisions, so But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Because I mean, you don't know what's going to happen with Atlanta. I mean, they might want Russell Wilson. You might want Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. So there's a lot of things going out there. But Justin Fields could help a lot of teams. And matter of fact, I still believe he'll be a top 10 quarterback next year. I hope it's with the Bears, but I don't know. And all I can do is if I say Ryan Poles is the GM, and I really like him as our GM so far. I like the things he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I could do is just trust him and hope that he sees what I see. As a football player, you see certain things. You know what you really need. All you can do is hope that that's what it is. You can't. You gotta live with it.
Yeah, and also I know Drippy's he's a Steeler fan, so Le'Veon Bell came out and he said something along the lines. He goes, "Trust." He goes, said, "Justin Fields isn't that guy. Trust me," all in caps. And like part of me was like,
"Bro, Le'Veon Bell's like, look, you got hit too hard when you try to be a boxer. Just shut up." He's been doing
like, you're not known for making great decisions, dude. Like,
all you've done is made bad decisions.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't want to trust you, man.
What does Bell know that we don't?
Same with Urlacher. I don't know. I mean, at this point, they're fans. They're fans, and they might know some insiders, but
no, Urlacher, I understand. Urlacher's kid is in college. He's seen Caleb Williams a lot. He lives out in Arizona, so he saw a lot of Pac-12 games. He might feel like the talent level is so good out there, but you forget about what it is that you really need as a quarterback, especially if you didn't play offense. You need to trust that he's a leader. That's going to be a thing. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Foster Cover says you might hear that the trade talks, but he could go into April. It's a little different this year with 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, Senior Bowl practices started today. I was supposed to be there with Swiss Sports. That's amazing. That's awesome. Super cool to be able to see a Senior Bowl. I wouldn't mind seeing Senior Bowl or the Shrine Bowl. I think both of those are awesome. And you start seeing players in their element. Because the worst thing you can do is go to the combine. I honestly believe that the combine is nothing but, the shorts Olympics. You can look great. I could go right now, and if I put me in the combine right now, I wouldn't be allowed to go again. But if I was in there right now, I'll do some amazing numbers. They'll be like, this dude is benched 35 times, 225, 35 times. Like it'll look amazing. But I couldn't play football or worth nothing because I'm old. It doesn't matter. So it's just something. But the Senior Bowl, I think, is really cool because I think you find great football players. I think that's the thing you really need to see.
Yeah.
You in football.
I'm looking up Swift Sports. And there's like they're on YouTube, 20K subscribers and stuff like that. What else you doing? But I know I've heard Swift Sports on Facebook and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you're associated with them or something like that, Foster, but that's pretty cool.
That's a cool thing to be able to see. I would love to be able to do that. That's cool. And then Marty jumped in and said, "You don't have to be a senior to go to the Senior Bowl." I think more than anything that Caleb is. You don't. But Caleb is different because I think he wouldn't be throwing. He's only going to do. I don't think he's going to throw him at the combine. He's going to have his pro day. When you know you're a top pick, why would you even put yourself in that situation? None of these top picks. If you think you're a first rounder, you're not going to go play.
Yeah, I mean, all you're doing is there's no upside, and it's only potentially to any bad thing gets. Yeah, where look at Zach Wilson last year. Yeah, he was doing all this crazy shit through like this insane football, and they're like, "Oh my god, he's great," But when you're lower, you can do that because you have space to go. When you're at the top, you just sit back and let everyone talk and like, I'm great.
Yeah,
remember Zach Wilson? Zach Wilson's the same draft as Justin Fields.
Yeah. Remember Justin Fields was number 2 or 3 at one point.
No, he was
always. The pro days came, and then he fell all the way back down to 7 or 11 or something like that.
We got him at 11.
Yeah,
we got him 11. He was, the 4th quarterback chosen.
Yeah.
But which didn't make any sense because in their entire career, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields have been 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Out of high school, their senior year of high school, they're 1-2. Going into college, they're 1-2. It's, he played well the entire time. Justin Fields had 2 bad games at Ohio State, and one was against like Penn State, I believe, and the other was like Indiana. And he ended up coming back the second half of Indiana and winning that game. And but that dropped him significantly. you see the talent. Justin Fields has all the talent. And I think he's a good quarterback. I don't know if he'll ever be one of those all-time great quarterbacks. And I think that's where we get in this debate. The debate is coming from, is Justin Fields or is Caleb Williams a great quarterback? And the answer is you don't know.
You never know.
And that's the hard part. Once again, this is a crapshoot. You know, is it possible that Caleb Williams becomes Kyler Murray, who was a can't miss prospect? Another can't miss prospect who did it. When you start going through these can't miss prospects, there's a lot of misses. There's a lot of misses. And the best quarterback usually comes, the third or fourth quarterback that's drafted that year is usually the best quarterback out of the draft. It happens all the time.
Getting out the subject real quick. What do you guys think about Justin Tucker and Travis Kelce before the game? Did you see the footage?
Yeah. It wasn't just Travis.
It was Mahomes.
It was Mahomes too.
Yeah, oh yeah, and Mahomes.
It was a bunch of the guys. And Tucker does that. That's what he does. Kickers usually do that a lot too. They'll kick while they're warming up. They're kicking when the cheerleaders are out there and shit like that. Justin Tucker.
You saw what Mahomes did. He threw his helmet. He threw his tee. He threw all his stuff. That's funny.
No, yeah. Mahomes threw the tee. I believe Kelce threw the helmet.
Kelce chucked all the balls that he had lined up and the helmet and shit. Man. I was like,
I'm a football player. I care less about the kicker.
Yeah.
Do you think right? Do you think Kelce, or do you think the Kansas City people was wrong, or do you think Tucker was wrong?
I don't think anyone's wrong. It's a football game.
No.
Do what you gonna do?
Well, because I think Tucker was wrong. Me personally, Tucker was wrong because Brian, you got 250 yards, Ravens, Chiefs, or whatever, or then you get like 15, 20 minutes out there to warm up, practice, whatever. Then the other team comes out. My question is, why is Tucker on their side of the field kicking balls into that field goal?
But he was doing it at the time that most time kickers are out there. So he wasn't like he was doing during the time that kickers go out there to do those things. Right. They came out there to get extra work, early work, and they was messing with them. So but I think it's all mind games. This is what you're supposed to do.
Okay,
this is the AFC Championship game. I have no problem with that. None.
Okay, so a lot of the reason I'm bringing this up because I'm hearing a lot of speculation that Tucker wasn't doing nothing wrong. All the fame went to Kelce's head. Just because he's dating Taylor Swift, the reality.
That's all
popularity.
That's media shit, man. That's all media shit. They want to. There's videos and videos and videos of kickers doing shit like this way before, and not only with Mr. Taylor Swift.
I just want your guys' opinion because you guys also play football, collegiate as well, and I want to know, what do you guys think? Because me personally, I no matter what game, conference championship game, it doesn't matter. You respect, and what Tucker was doing was wrong. My opinion. Now, you guys might.
Both sides have an opportunity to kick field goals further than 50, 60 yards. Justin Tucker normally kicks 65-yard field goals to try them out to see what's going on, which will have to be on their sideline. It's just what
he was on their 5 though. Brian, he was on their 5-yard line.
They could practice kickoffs. They could practice all those things. So especially if the other team. So I have no problem with either of them do. If Justin Tucker wants to be wherever he wants to be, kicking field goals or kicking whatever he wants to kick, fine. If Kelce and Mahomes,
I'm not going to show the video, but I found this.
Fine.
I mean, they do it all the time, and that's our boy. That's Robbie Gould. They do it all the time. It's a mind game, It's especially with the kickers,
But it also
the kickers is always
right.
Yeah, it helps the
you-
kicker. It's a distraction, and it helps your focus and stuff like that. It's a mind game where, especially if you're the away team, you're like, hey, fuck you, kind of thing too. Like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But I had no problem. Also, and that's also why Tucker didn't get up and get angry, because he knew, it's part of the mind game, the game that they're all playing.
Yeah, that's why it's part of football.
Yeah.
This is what it is on both sides. So that's why I have no problem either way.
Go back to that picture, Kramer, real quick, if you don't mind. I'm looking at that picture, and all I see is I'm thinking to myself,
he kicks it,
bro. Like, I'm just thinking, if that cheerleader on the left side, on Robbie's Gold left side, all right, is extremely lucky that's not Parky, because they would have got blasted in the back of the head.
No, but you have to get.
They're like bowling with bumpers.
Yes, exactly.
You have to get the ball up so immediately. You have to remember that. So when you're a kicker, you have to get the ball up within 5 yards, over 15, 50 feet up in the air. So like, actually, none of them are really in danger, honestly.
Yeah. Unless you're like right in front of him. But yeah. Yeah, the only one is if he completely shanks it and hits one of these girls on his left. Probably her. Just like, but besides,
if he's doing kickoff now, and if he's doing a field goal, it's going to go up in the air, and you're not going to see a drift either way until it's way up in the air. So I don't think you have any issues with that.
Yeah, but kickers do this, man. So that's why I laughed. I thought it was funny. I was, but it wasn't just Kelsey. It was also
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
I
just didn't like how the repercussions and the backlash everybody are saying, oh, they don't know how to play football. I'm like, dude, shut up.
That's the media shit. They got to make was a mountain out of anthill or whatever the saying is. That's what it is.
But it's also, some people just don't even know what football is and the mind games you have to do with this, and what that's just what it is. That's whatever, But it's also, mind games for Kelsey and Mahomes. It's you put an edge, because at the end of the game, if you know that Justin Tucker might have a field goal, you have to have something in there that they're thinking about you. This is what they do. I mean, I would talk crap to quarterbacks all the time. I would talk crap to everybody I can, not because I really care about, but that's just what you do. This is what football is. I don't care. I don't mind at all. Either way, on both sides, I don't care. Anthony says, surprise team, I can see the Vikings get Justin Fields. There's no way in hell the Bears will trade Justin Fields in the division. They have to see him over and over and over again. For him to just kick your butt all over the place.
I would hate it. I would hate it.
Chicago will have to move. We'll just all of us have to move. There's no way.
I need somebody who's like the Caleb fan who hates Justin. I'm like, give me your phone number, because I just want to stare at you every time we lose. I just want to stare at you for the entire second half. Like, you motherfucker. I blame you.
That's funny.
What's up, Anzu?
What's up?
And then Martin's like, you talking about Moody? So Jake Moody is the San Francisco rookie kicker. He's the one that took was it Robbie Gold's spot. So that's what that is.
No, that was Robbie Gold from a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah. Andy Martinez, what's
up?
Hey,
what's up, Andy?
Oh, yeah. Foster says, that was babyish crap by Mahomes and Kelsey in my eyes. So unnecessary. No, it was unnecessary. Yes, you're probably right. It's unnecessary, but this is what football players do. People come out there and they're talking crap the entire time. They're whispering stuff in people's ears. Like, this is just what you do. So and those are the things I don't, the gamesmanship I don't care about. I think any of that stuff it's all whatever. So what should have happened is he should have went back and went and got Roquan Smith. And he just Tucker brought Roquan Smith and brought his people with him and said, "Hey, let's go. What's going on now?"
That's a meme I saw.
That's what you should have done.
Or like he comes back, he goes, "Damn, they're the ones that hit me." It's like the big brother. He's like coming in, like what? Yeah, if you really wanted to play like mind games, you would have gone and got like Roquan and like, hey, I need you to stand right here. I need you to hold the ball for me, or something stupid like that. You know what I mean? Like, like if you really wanted to get petty and stuff like that. But that's what kickers do, because kickers know their kind of role, and they know they can go out there and do stupid shit like that. But also Mahomes and Kelsey know they're like probably the two biggest names in football right now. So they're like, what are you going to do? You're a fucking kicker. Like, get out of here. Yeah.
But he's probably the greatest kicker of all time. So,
yeah. No, yeah, that too. But also, greatest kicker versus
the greatest quarterback possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, by the end of his career, he could catch Tom Brady. That's crazy.
Both of them. He might be the greatest tight end and the greatest quarterback. Like,
I'll still take Brady and Tony Gonzalez, but in their career, possibly. So the Bears hired Thomas Brown as passing game coordinator. So we saw that earlier. That's what we were talking about earlier. Which was really cool. And we were talking about Thomas Brown and where he's been, and another person who's from that Sean McVay coaching tree. So, which is interesting because once again, the type of tree Caleb Williams has been doing the same with those coaches too, off and on. They're in the same type of tree, doing the same camps. Those are the same camps that Justin Fields also went to, but right now Caleb Williams is the hot topic. So, it does look interesting. The Bears are definitely looking towards Caleb Williams. Yeah. As much as I don't want it to happen, I can see it happening. But if someone comes and says, "Here's 3 first-round draft picks and a great player," the Bears would trade the pick.
Oh yeah,
they just would.
Yeah. So you think all arrows are picking up Caleb Williams as of right now? Of right now, January 30th.
I think it's up in the air.
Yeah.
100%.
Still in the air. Okay.
Yeah, because like you said, they're getting coaches that will benefit either quarterback. You know what I mean? And they're making moves. And I kind of agree with Brian. It's get the picks for later and get a great wide receiver. If who everyone's arguing that he might be one of the best, generational talent, and all that, stuff. But then you get those picks. You can pick up a quarterback later. You know what I mean? If you get in 2 years, you get you get somebody else's first round. Make some moves and move up, and now you can get that quarterback, whoever that might be. You know what I mean? So,
I heard something very interesting today in the radio. So who's the offensive coordinator that we got from Seattle?
Waldron, Shane Waldron.
Right. Waldron, right? So I heard something interesting in the radio that the offensive coordinator position here in Chicago was really, really hot commodity. Like a lot of coaches wanted the position. What if Waldron came here just because if Eberflus gets fired next year for, I don't know, 7 and whatever, win, and Eberflus doesn't make it, and if Eberflus gets fired, Shane would slide into that spot, possibly slide in that spot. You think the possibility of that happening?
No, I think actually what you're going to hear is that Eberflus is going to end up getting a contract extension. I think that's where we're going to find out that all things. So he's going to get a 2-year extension. So it'd be exactly what Waldron has, and we're going to maybe we don't hear about it, but we're going to hear whispers about it, and that that he got an extension. Because the truth is, the first year we tried to lose. The second year we improved from the first year. If the third year he improves from this year, he's probably going to be here a long time.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is going to happen with that.
Reminds me of the Death Knights. First year you got 0 wins. The second year we got 1. Then third, fourth, fifth year we kept getting better and better and better.
Yeah, you're not going to get 1. It's not going to work. If they get 1 win, he's never going to be a coach again. No, I mean, I think we're heading in a good direction, an interesting direction. The more and more I think about it, the more I'm seeing that the Bears could be going, in any direction. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I think it also depends on who ends up coaching Washington. I think that has a lot to do with this. Okay, so we all heard Ben Johnson decided he's going back to Detroit. He told Seattle, no, thank you for the position. He told Washington Commanders, no, thank you. I'm gonna go back to Detroit. I think that has a lot to do with money, but also if you don't believe in the quarterback, you don't go there.
Didn't he also say something about like the Bears? Like he kind of wants to take Eberflus's job once he leaves.
No, that's once again a media.
Is it a media thing? Okay, because
he didn't say.
I didn't hear him say it, so it was like one of those like articles I was reading,
and all of them saying all that stuff. Yeah,
and that's so like. That's like playing 3D chess kind of thing. It's like, well, if this doesn't work and I do this and then they does that and this happens, then I can sneak in. It's like that's too much to like bank your career on, dude. It's like
we already heard him say that he wants $14 to $15 million a year. And who in their right mind will give a 37-year-old coach $14 to $15 million a year before he's ever been a head coach? He has no coaching experience.
What Harbaugh get? 21.
They got Jim Harbaugh, and Jim Harbaugh took a team who was middling to the NFC Championship game and then to the Super Bowl within 2 years. Like, so Jim Harbaugh was worth any money you want to give him. So, but you won't get Ben Johnson. I don't know. I don't know this guy. Yeah,
it's funny how Harbaugh was interviewing. All these teams were interviewing for Jim Harbaugh, but in reality, Harbaugh was interviewing the team.
You say that, but you have to realize that Harbaugh, the last 2 years he has interviewed for these jobs, and they've gone other directions. He thought he had the Denver job.
Yeah,
he thought he had
Detroit.
He thought he had the Minnesota job, and they went other directions. So
Jim
Harbaugh, we got Foster Covers. He said, if Waldron takes Fields or Williams to the offensive prowess here in 24, then he probably write his own ticket. He'll be going quickly. He will be going quickly, which is another reason why having Thomas Brown here is a very smart decision. Because once again, you've already interviewed him from offensive coordinator. You're gonna let him work with Shane Waldron, and if the Bears do take off, you have your offensive coordinator in waiting right there who worked with him, which I think is really smart.
And that's what good teams do. It's like, all right, now you proved it. Now you want to go up and become a head coach. Cool. Well, now we got the next guy right behind you taking your place who the system doesn't change. He gets the experience, and it just becomes like a revolving door in a sense, but nothing really changes because it's the same thing being taught down to the next like generation, so that's great.
Same way with that team up north that I hate. I will never say their name again. I just hate them that much. The same thing they do with quarterback.
So the Bears had an opportunity to do that when Vic Fangio left, because we had Sean Desai, I believe his name was.
Yeah, that didn't work well for Philadelphia.
Well,
he was the defensive coordinator that got fired in Philadelphia this year. That's
I'm not talking about that, because I'm talking about he was the defensive coordinator, defensive backs coach for the Bears when Vic left for the head coaching. He came in and he did a pretty decent job. He did a great job because remember, he was under the same system for a long time, so he knew the system. So but if you're gonna let people go, so the revolving door thing I don't think it's gonna work.
No, you make a plan, and then if you have to adjust your plan, you adjust your plan. But you'll be wrong to not make a plan just because you're afraid that the plan might not work out. You better make a plan anyway. You make a plan. You have a contingency plan, and you keep on going always. I got Foster in here. I tend to think Poles keeps Justin Fields and gets his haul. He will not show lean either way. Old 1970s tune called Driver's Seat, and Poles is in it. I love everything he already is saying. I love it. And he's right. I think that's exactly what we should be going to. I think that's exactly what he should be doing. We should be looking for Justin Fields being your guy. You have a good quarterback. You have a team that loves him, a team that already trusts him. You know he's a great leader. Get you a haul, but to get that haul, you have to continue to have the idea that Caleb Williams could be your pick. So someone wants him that bad, you have to give up a lot more.
Yeah.
If you really want him, come get him.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, I kind of want him, but I'm not sure. Oh, but I kind of do. And then that all that does is like makes theoretically the Pats and the Commanders, that there's really the main two. Them more like, oh shit, I need to beat the other team to get up there. It's good, man. Poles, I like Poles. He's done some things that were kind of like not my favorite moves. I understand now in retrospect, I understand. At the time, I was kind of upset. But I think Poles is doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Hey.
The one move I'm kind of like iffy was Roquan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. That's the only move that I'm like, it still hurts to this day. We could have paid him. He's a young guy. He's an all pro. Yeah. I think we should just.
But so he got another linebacker who might not be as good as him, added a 4th round draft pick. It seems like he believes in team. He believes a team is better than just one player.
Yeah.
Is that was Sanborn? No. So Sanborn.
They already had Sanborn, I believe.
Sanborn was already on the team. He took over on that year. They went to. They got the Bills guy. I don't know why.
Is that Edmonds or
Edmonds? Yeah,
Edmonds. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. So now you got 2 guys for the price of 1, and you got the 4th round pick, which helps you grab someone else. Yeah. So you build with the draft. I think any good GM worth his salt knows you have to build through the draft.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Brian hit the wrong button. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with him. Like, that's why I said, like, in retrospect, I'm okay with it because I saw what came out of that move, and I'm okay with it. But at the time, I was like, "Why are you doing this? He's the greatest." At that position.
We all were upset. I remember clearly. Yeah. I remember clearly when that happened.
But after the year's over, now going back and looking at it, I'm like, okay, I like what he did. I think he made the smart. He made the business call rather than the emotional, like, kind of call as us fans kind of tend to do.
Right. So, because I mean, that's how we got so much. That's how much we got. Yeah. That's how much we got money. I can't talk though. That's how we got so much money that year. Last year.
No, I mean, Roquan would have been. You would have had the same amount of money regardless. Roquan didn't change your money because you spent the money because you gave it to Tremaine Edmonds. What they got rid of everybody else. The Khalil Mack, they got rid of. They got rid of those the older guys that were.
That's what it was.
But he just didn't want to pay an off-ball linebacker $20 million, but he paid another one 18. So it didn't really matter to me. But you did what you did. You got an extra draft pick. I'm okay with whatever you decide. Do you believe the Tomlin rumors? So Steelers owner support Mike Tomlin, and he said he's had enough of all this stuff. Mike Tomlin, is going. Steelers President Art Rooney supports Mike Tomlin. Has had enough of a playoff win drought.
Yeah, I mean the record he has, with not having a losing season is great and all, but. Mm-hmm. You don't win Super Bowls with having just a winning season. You know what I mean? Like, you got to win playoff games. So, that's kind of the issue Tomlin has right now. So I don't know.
Here's what Rooney said. I think players still respond to Mike, and that's number one. He still has the key characteristics that we saw when we hired him. He can keep the attention of a group of 20-year-olds the whole season and keep them in the fight the whole way. So still feel good about Mike. Obviously, if I didn't, we would have made a change. We'll make a change. But if we didn't think Mike wasn't able to lead us into a championship, he wouldn't be here, and that's why he is here. That's what it is. So it's kind of a vote of confidence. And then he also talked about Kenny Pickett. He says, we still feel good about Kenny Pickett and his future, but know he needs to work hard to take the next step. We've talked about that. And one thing I think I like about Kenny Pickett in terms of his career at Pitt, but I know how hard he has worked, and he took a step every year. So we're looking for that to happen here. I think
That's a nice
tells
way
a
of saying get better or you're
or we're bringing competition. You better
Uh-huh.
win, bro.
The Tomlin one seemed like we're behind him, we support him, and then it's kind of like, but that quarterback, he's good, but
I think he gets 2 years. I
Yeah.
think it's 2 years.
I'm gonna get going, guys. I gotta wake up tomorrow to work out, and I got a whole day in front of me.
All right. All right,
So,
Sounds good, man.
all right. Oh, real quick, I see the last question by Foster. Yes, I will do that.
Okay. We'll get to
I don't
that in
want
a
to.
second.
Yeah, I don't want to jump ahead, but I just did.
All right.
Yeah,
All right,
we
guys.
got that.
Who do we see?
All right, man.
I see, man.
All right,
Cool.
man.
Later.
All right. Who do we see winning the Super Bowl? I said I think the Chiefs. He says I think the 49ers. He said the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That way. He said the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He said 100% with false. Yeah, I agree exactly what he said. Lions already have the next OC on their coaching staff. Who do you think it is? I think it's Mark Brunell. I think Mark Brunell is going to be their next offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes sense with Dan Campbell. Bringing everyone who's
yeah.
there played football, right? Everyone, their defense coordinator, I think they all played football. I think Mark Brunell is going to be the guy who steps right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah.
And he said, funny, the slide got fired and the Eagles hired Fangio. But the Eagles brought some heavy hitters back to the coaching staff. Getting Vic Fangio, Kellen Moore, like which you saw in a Cowboy over the Cowboys, 2 years ago. I thought that they brought some heavy hitters in. I thought that was really interesting because what you heard was Sirianni was not doing a good job. He's letting the inmates run the asylum.
Yeah,
and they dictate who was going to be the person that's who's going to be the head coach, who's going to be the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. Oh, you guys like him, so I'm going to make him offensive coordinator. You like him, so I'm going to make Desai your defensive coordinator. Oh, you like this guy, so I'm going to bring Matt Patricia in. Yeah, no, Sirianni, you need to have a backbone. You need to do what's best for your team, and he was not. And that's why he's in this position, and that's why they brought Vic Fangio, because you ain't going to tell Vic what to do. Vic will tell you what to
do. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and I think looking back, you see the red flags. Like AJ Brown started bitching and moaning, like, I'm not getting enough passes. And then the next week he got, like the next few weeks, he got like all the passes. And I was like, you have another great receiver, right? And that now looking back, I was like, oh, that's a red flag of like the coaching not stepping up and like, listen, you'll get your time. We'll get you in there. Listen, there's a plan. Instead, it's just like, oh, you're bitching. Boom, now you get all the balls. And it was just like,
as a good coach always says, I'm gonna listen to you guys, and if it's a great idea, I'll incorporate it. And if it's a terrible idea, I'll tell you to your face. That's a good coach. I think that's what you need. You need to be able to say, I hear what you're saying, and yes, we're incorporated, or I hear what you're saying, and that's not going to work today, and we're not going to do it. Just like Mike Tomlin did with Chase Claypool when he was like talking about the music thing. Well, I think Chase Claypool is doing a good job being wide receiver, and I'm going to do coaching. I think that separation of responsibility is accurate for us.
Yeah,
that's what you need to tell them.
Yep, that's a good example. That's exactly what a good coach does.
How do you not take the best 2 linemen when you have 2 top 10 picks? Trade down and still get them. Okay, that's a very interesting thing. I think the worst thing about the Bears line, as far as the offensive line, is center. If you fix your center position, then your 2 guard positions are much better, right? Darnell Wright is great.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I do agree that you can get a left tackle and make your team very strong, especially if you trade down, or you make that as part of the trade package with whatever team you get. So I would love to see that, but I think you have to see some more competition at left tackle.
Yeah.
No matter what, Braxton Jones can't walk in and be the only left tackle. Yeah. So I don't care if that comes through free agency or in the draft or whatever. You need to put some competition and put a fire on him, and you have to go get a 2nd round pick, and you have to draft a center. You know, the guy from Oregon, that's my guy.
I know.
That's my one.
You've been saying that one for a while.
Hey,
I like it. I was watching some highlights. It was after last week's show. I went and watched some highlights. I was like, okay, I'm in.
it's like I told everyone, John Michael Schmidt last year.
Yeah.
You know, go get the guy.
Yep.
If you got the guy, go get him.
Yep.
Say, would you guys trade number 1 to 3 for New England and get a number 1 and a 2 and plus a 24 plus a second round this year? That's exactly what I would do. You almost described exactly my scenario. Yeah. I will drop to 3. I will ask them. I want to swap this year. I want your next year's number 1, and I want 2024 second.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's yes, yeah. Boss. That is perfect. That's exactly.
And this is the one Fredo said before he left that he agreed with you too, and I agree. You know, that's kind of like it makes the most sense. You know, and I know the other guy Martin, who's you know on Dynasty Pylon, he was on here a few weeks ago too, and he was pretty much saying the same thing. You know, this makes the most sense.
Here's the thing, though: the more the whole everyone's coming for Caleb Williams, and you get a lot more competition, you might get even more. You can
maybe.
Drop to 3, maybe you get a 2024 and a 2025 first.
That'd be insane.
You know what I'm saying? Like you possibly could. The draft capital doesn't match when you look at the chart.
Mm-hmm.
But if they want Caleb Williams, that capital goes up.
Yeah.
If it's a top tier quarterback and you know they want them, you gotta pay for them. Don't let you get a bidding war.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, Foster. Chicago has so many options, and those are the best ones. Trading the pick is the best options for me. Yeah. So I got the Chiefs. I hate the 49ers.
There you go. I'm right there with you, beautiful.
No, you don't. You don't want the 49ers to win. I got the Chiefs. You want the 49ers to win.
No, I got the Chiefs. You wanted the 49ers to win. What you talking about? I was like, wait, what?
No,
doing Daffy Duck to me, man.
Duck season. Fire.
Yeah.
4 highly rated tackles in the top 12. Mm-hmm. So what's really interesting, William, is that all the tackles are actually going down in these mock drafts. They're going further and further down. So it's like Fashanu, Joe Alt, they're going lower and lower and lower. I'm not exactly sure why, but they say everyone loves these receivers. So Neighbors is going higher. You got Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is going to go high. All these people are going for these other, receivers. So Adunze is going up higher instead of them going left tackle, which I just don't understand. If you trade down, you get Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't care if you get a lineman at your 9th pick. I don't care if it's a defensive tackle, defensive end, or offensive tackle, left tackle. If you get Joe Alt, can you imagine getting Marvin Harrison and Joe Alt and getting you a center in the second round? Boy, you won. You won the draft.
Yeah.
And then you still have 2 first-round picks next year? Come on, man.
Well, that's why, man. Everyone just always wants Caleb, and I get it. I'm not saying that it's a stupid thing. I get it. Why people want to get a quarterback, but it's what the value. The value is worth trading down rather than keeping it. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, draft only if they're good. I agree. Exactly. Also said this team needs a guard center terribly. We have no center and two part-time guards. I think our most talented offensive lineman is still Tevin Jenkins. But the problem with Tevin Jenkins is he's only going to play about 11 games a year. Yeah. That is a big problem.
That's on the high end, man. If we get that, be good.
I think the real issue is that Davis plays right guard, and Tevin is a better right guard than left guard. That's the real issue.
Yeah.
Tevin Jenkins and you should have the two, Darnell Wright and Tevin Jenkins, on the right side. Mm-hmm. Then you put a good center there, and then you need a left guard. This whole Davis thing, that wasn't a great pick because I think Tevin Jenkins, he thought he was so talented he could go either side, which he can be so much better at right guard. He's so much better. He's a better right guard than Davis is.
Yeah.
So but you really need depth. I need just Tyrese Carter is going to still be Tyrese Carter is going to still be on the team, but you need a great center. If you could go the number one center, or free agency center, that's you really need.
Mhm.
I mean, this team all of a sudden gets real solid because people are coming from the inside out. The problem with Justin Fields a lot of the times last year is that he couldn't step up ever, because the center was getting blown back every single time.
Yep.
I mean, Cody Whitehair, it's the ghost of Cody Whitehair. He is no longer a good player, let alone guard or center. He's not even a good player. He needs to be cut immediately. That saves you $9 million right off the bat. I don't know what was wrong with him. And then everyone else they brought in was just so bad. I didn't understand what they were thinking. But when I saw Dan Feeney and Lucas Patrick being our only two other options, bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's just, like I'm an old, never was, but I probably not go over Dan Feeney. Like, man, that just doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
I play tight end. I play tight end. I didn't play.
But yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Like, I always hear everyone complaining about Justin Fields, and we need a pocket passer. Even if imagine if we had only a pocket passer, that man will be dead. He will be dead, like behind that O-line. Like, there's no way, So all this argument of like we need a pocket passer. What do you think would have happened this past year? Even 2 years ago, like he would not have got out 2 years ago. That Cleveland Browns game where he got sacked 8 times. No, it would have been done. Like I'm not getting back up. Like I retire. Like,
here's my issue though. So my last thing I kind of want to talk about was Caleb Williams' size doesn't work in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold, right? For one, it's cold. 2, you have to be able to take a lot of hits in the black and blue division. He is slightly built. He's 6 feet tall, maybe 200 pounds. We need a guy that's 6'3", 230 pounds to be able to take some of this beating. Because you're going to get a beating in this division. This is just what it is. You're going to play outside. That's just what it is. You're going to have to be able to zip the ball through the wind all the time. You need to be able to do all those things. So I hate the fact that everyone keeps on, saying that Caleb Williams is the answer without really knowing what the question is. We're not going to be a dome team regardless. Even if we get a new stadium, I still think it's going to be an open stadium that you open up as much as you can, and then every once in a while it closes. No matter what, you can't count on that. You need to have a sturdy, a big guy. It's the same reason I didn't want Bryce Young last year. I didn't want that. It didn't make any sense. So what did we see? Would you trade the rights to Marvin Harrison Jr. at 3 for Neighbors and Jackson Powers, Johnson, and a second round pick in 25?
Neighbors, Jackson Powers.
Yes.
Like I'm saying, that's a lot of people just for one person.
And the reason I even say that is because I'm willing to go below 3. In any of these drafts, if any scenario, I'm willing to go below 3. I think Odunze is interesting. I think Neighbors is interesting. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best wide receiver. But once again, I don't need to have the best wide receiver. I need a good wide receiver too. So if I get a great wide receiver and extra stuff that makes my team better, I would trade down. I have no problem.
Yeah.
If Vegas wants to come up and give me 3 first-round picks, a second round, and a player, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Like I will go down to wherever that, I'll go down 10 if I need to.
Yeah.
Be 9 and 10. Sure, why not? I think it makes more sense that you get as much talent as possible. I want Marvin Harrison Jr. I really do. Does that mean that's the only answer? No, that's not the only answer. I'll take Davis. I'll take Odunze. Rome looks good. Those scenarios actually are possible. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Here's my big question is can Caleb take all the crap from Chicago media without losing it? No,
Yes.
he will be crying.
Yeah. It's a lot, and I'll give it to all Justin Fields. You know, whether you hate him or like him, how he's handled the media in Chicago is great. You know, and actually, there's that one that was making its ways around the internet a few weeks ago. And he was on our show like one time, like a long time ago. It was one of Fredo's friend of Sean Sierra, I think I think his name was. He's the one that asked Justin that question that kind of told Justin, like, I think he said something like, "Oh, my life would be easier, you know, without you asking me those questions," or something like that. So I thought that was kind of funny. So and he's not even like a radio guy, like. You know, he's a podcaster. You know, he has his YouTube channel and stuff like that. You know, really fun stuff. But yeah. I mean, if that's where it starts and it only gets worse with the ESPN guys and the other radio, you know, guys. Yeah,
The frustration is amazing for me. I don't like a lot of what you create your own stuff. I think you create the narrative, and I don't like that. Yeah,
I agree.
And then says JPJ killed at the Senior Bowl today. Standout, best center in the draft. He's by far the best center in the draft, and I would love to have him. But you need to have a second round pick to get. And actually, you probably need to be in the 38, 39.
Right up there.
Right around there, around 38, 39, 40. That's probably going to do. Jackson Power Johnson. Jackson Power Johnson is by far the best center. I mean, Zach Frazier's okay. Don't get me wrong. And what's his name? Van Pran. Van Pran is pretty good. But Jackson Power Johnson, that's he has some nasty in him. I like some nasty. That's why I said I like John Michael Schmidt last year. I like some nasty. Yeah. My center has to have a little bit of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I need you to be able to stand up for my quarterback. I need you to be powerful. I need you not to get knocked back.
Yeah. That's why I love Kelsey. You know, like obviously Kelsey's more popular now, I think, because of his brother and you know the podcast that they do and stuff like that. But dude has been like
Jason Kelsey's been great for a long time.
And
you know what's for him?
But it's a position that doesn't get looked at.
He's undersized and he's powerful and he has great leverage. And that's what you need and he has nasty in him.
Yeah.
That's what you need from your center. You need that.
Yep.
So I'm 100%
like the dude is like, listen, I don't get dressed up. I come in and play football. You know, he's walking to the bus in sweatpants and you know, like sandals and flip flops and stuff. Like that's what you want from your O-line guys. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, guys. Thanks everybody for being here today. All these
thanks
comments
for the new subscribers. Great. I know we got some more subscribers. So whoever, I don't know who subscribed, but whoever did, appreciate you guys coming in and hitting that subscribe button. Thank you so much.
So we're going to have Dynasty Pylon. We will be here on Wednesday. We go over Gridiron Heights, but it's actually on hiatus, so we're not going to see it this week, but we'll see it next week. We're going to go over a lot of IDP fantasy football stuff. And then we have on Sunday, we have our the morning spike. We still will be doing that. We're going to have a lot of fun this season. And then next Tuesday, we'll be here with the new news from the Bears, because we still have to get a running back coach. We still have to figure out, there's always new reports coming out. We will be talking about it all the way up to the draft and then through the next season, because we have a lot of moves to make. We have a lot of great things going in. I cannot wait to talk about it with you guys. Thanks everyone for being here. Thank you for being here. Hey, Fredo, I know you left, but I appreciate you being here too. All right, and we will see you guys the same Bear time, same Bear channel next week. Thanks.
Later.
We the Bears, monsters of the Midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the Midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes.